Welcome to Marketplace. And of course, this is an Empire Wars map that they also put into the main map pool, which I'm perfectly fine with. It's kind of like an Oasis style map with wood central wood line where most of the wood is. Although the wood lines out here are big enough too that you can justify putting, relying on those. So in the blue we have Victor Seri. Oh my god, I can't. I don't know how to pronounce that. Victor in the blue playing as the Teutons, which is an interesting choice. And then here in the red we have Heisenberg in the red. Woo. And this is a player I was talking about that I knew because Heisenberg is, I think, if it's the same person, but I think so. He plays a lot of Castle Blood Automatic or CBA, which I like to play too, and I've seen him in there a lot of times playing. So, of course, this is not CBA, obviously, so that's not that relevant. But it was just funny because I happen to know this player. Most of the players at this elo I do not know. There's only a few that might stand out if you've happen to have played against them uh, in ranked matchups. In any case, talking about the map, it's kind of like closed off Arabia a bit. It's not like you can wall easily to the side of the map like that, just like that. That will take you a while. It's pretty tricky because there's all sorts of holes on the side too. You might want to wall a side of the map too, because of course you have that market that is in the corner of the map, which belongs to Gaia, which means that either player can trade with that and get a gold trickle. Uh, Now, of course, this is what makes picking Spanish on this map pretty overpowered, because Spanish have that trade bonus. They get more gold per trade trip. So I casted this game last week where a player went Spanish and he got 78 gold per trip. And he had 25 trade cards. It was insane how much gold that brought in. It won him the game too, because he could just spam conquistadors the entire game while the other player ran out of gold. And, there was nothing he can do. He hadn't set up his own trade route. So, which is why I'm surprised that, that this terrain is not visible to the players. I think I would have liked it if the devs had made it like the El Dorado map, where you can see the middle of the map, the gold, where you can just kind of see this area, so you can tell if your opponent is trading or not. Maybe. I guess it's also a matter of scouting. It's just once your opponent kind of fortifies off with walls, it's hard to scout that and to know and to strategize. So you basically have to start your own trade route just to be sure you're not falling behind. But that might be what this map is all about. I don't really know what the meta on this map is yet, because it's rather new. It's not been in the map pool that long. As both players are now bringing in their boars. But, I mean, speaking of the maps, though, there's a gold out here, kind of forward, but between these wood lines, I think blue is already thinking about walling this off, which would immediately also protect his trade if he plans to do that later. Some gold and stones out here. Teutons a pretty defensive civilization, so you kind of do want your stones if you want to go for a castle. There's a gold out here that might be a I don't think it's going to be a problem, because blue is already well on his way to walling this off. I think blue is definitely having that Teutons mindset of defending early and getting that sick boom going. Your farms are cheaper, so it's really easy to add farms, add economy. That's why in the Art of War, where they had the whole booming mission, you play Teutons, because it's so easy. Now, for red, has a gold out here. It's not walling as much. Also, there's stones out here. There's a gold forward that's pretty far away from his base. There's a gold out here. I guess you have some extra golds here. I think that's how the resources are lined up here. Stone over there in the back. With Vietnamese, I don't think you need your stone early on. But rattan archers, which is the unique unit that they can make, are probably your best option for Vietnamese. They're pretty strong, actually. They're an anti-archer unit, and they're archers. So they're like armored archers, basically, which makes them sick against other archer civilizations, even though Vietnamese don't actually have a favorable win rate against them. It's just the problem is that rattan archers have to be trained from castles, which makes it a vulnerable option to go for. For the rest, Vietnamese do get battle elephants, but against Teutons, that might be a problem. Teutons, of course, get that extra melee armor per age, which makes them extra suitable to withstand the sheer force of elephants. As Victor is going to wall off his map, I think his scout is around this villager, has loom, so I don't think there's going to be a problem here. Already has the left side walled off. Of course, red knows exactly where blue is here. He even scouted this. Did he lose his scout? No, his scout's over here. Okay, well, that's a peculiar way of walling. Like, normally what you want to do is wall towards this wood line because you want to make use of this wood. But I guess red is going to be fine with the smaller wood line for now. At some point, you kind of have to move to this wood line, though. Now, red has made it to feudal age before blue. Because blue... Blue went up pretty late. He's not going fast castle because then he should be on gold. So that's... And I wouldn't advise doing that on a map that is not arena or something like that anyways, because early aggression. Red is going two archery ranges, which is pretty common for archer builds at this elo. Like, I've noticed that before, how common it is to drop 2 archery ranges immediately and start producing archers. Whereas the higher you go, it's more common to see 1 archery range investment by pro level players. And they'll just make that smaller army that they get, they'll make that, worth double their worth, which is what's so impressive about their play. And both players are in feudal age now. Huh. Well, now he's on gold. Was this an attempt at a fast castle build, but did he forget to send villagers to gold then? Because this is a market coming up with 1 villager. Blacksmith? You'll also need a blacksmith. But now he's getting his eco upgrades. I'm confused what blue's doing here. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Red's pretty clear. He's going for archers. Archers will help him break through these palisades because it will prevent villagers from walling behind. The thing is, he just has to be quick enough to lay on the pressure because blue's food count is spiking. Now the blacksmith coming up. I think he was intending to go fast castle. Actually got health tier, so he's now forced to get wheelbarrow. Definitely not the strongest build for blue here. Like, he's gonna be delayed a bit. That might give red an opportunity to do some damage. I think blue just scouted these archers. He went right back. So he should know what's... he didn't scout the archery ranges, but he should know what's on his way. And it's red's task now to kind of add more economy. Try to get up to Castle Age himself. Has enough on gold for 2 range production anyways. I still don't like that he's not going out to the wood line here. Because that is the main wood line that you want to control. And wall to. It's so easy to wall this up instead of the front. But anyways, like, I really like blue's walling. It's really nice. Gives him a lot of space. Secures his marker too. Alright, blue's responding with an archer range. And he's stonewalling up the sides. Well, that will stop the pressure for sure. Oh my god. Well, I mean, if you're going to be Teutons, then you might as well be Teutons. Blue, of course, also finding out now that you can't wall directly next to a gate because it's blocked. So that doesn't work. I'll have to delete this gate or just leave a hole. But if you leave a hole, then the archers can still get into your gold. So I'm not sure if that's a smart idea. And the archers are on their way, and there's still a hole there. Or is there? Wait, there's something behind. That's a stone wall. Okay, so there's a stone wall, but then there's still a hole there. Oh boy. Okay, well, Red announces his arrival by shooting this house. Red. Now, if Blue is on his way to Castle Age. Red is not there yet. If Red wants to do damage, he has to do it now. But this sucks. Because now Red gave away that he's coming, and it gives Blue time to stone wall behind here. And this was the only hole in which, Red could break in here. And this stone wall is half completed, so it's going to keep out these archers. And there's not much that Red can do. So he has to just run away now. This is really good for Blue, because he'll just get to Castle Age unscathed. This wall, of course, is still vulnerable, but that's another thing on this map. You can't, if you're on one side attacking, you can't just switch your attack to the other side. You have to walk all the way around. So Red not going to be able to really do damage to Blue. By the time he gets here, Blue will be in Castle Age, can just spam some knights, and it will clear up all these archers. But I think the best thing for Red now is just to focus on getting to those crossbows in Castle Age. Is doing a good job walling up on the left. Still not to the wood line though. I don't know. It's just because these wood lines aren't very good. They're very small. So it's just I want them to wall here. Like imagine just putting a lumber camp right there. There's so many trees right around it. It's really nice. Okay, yeah, you just noticed Blue is in Castle Age. Just gonna run away with his archers because you don't want to be anywhere near. Blue is not actually thinking about attacking. He's gonna boom, dropping his first townsend on the wood. That's smart. Secures this wood income. Ooh, but we got some forward villagers here. He's gonna drop a forward town center, which Red is gonna spot because his scout just happened to be right there. Might be auto scout actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's auto scout because look how it's scouting. It's like stopping for a second. Oh, and there's a hole, so he's gonna get in. Now he can scout Blue. See what Blue is up to. Yeah, Blue just noticed that. You could actually snipe this villager because you have a Castle Age scout now. You could do that, but I don't think Red is paying attention to this. Definitely could snipe her. She's really weak. The forward town center though, I've not seen that. On stone, which tells me that he wants a castle. Or more stone walls. Blue didn't actually find all his sheep. Now, Red, almost in Castle Age, he will have this massive crossbows. Now, your opponent is basically telling you, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to boom. I'm going to stonewall everything. And that's exactly what he's doing. And I'm going to sit here and have that sick Teuton boom. And I might make a few knights here just because, why not? If your opponent is doing that, and you're making military, you give up a lot of map control. At that point, there's a few options you have. You can either try to catch up on the boom. The Vulcans are dead even, so if Red gets his town centers down now, he won't be behind too much, which he's doing. What you can also do is, and especially if you have an army like Red, is lay on the pressure. Like this town center is a good target for your crossbows. You can build a siege workshop in this hill, start ramming or using a mangonel to take out this town center, which is pretty vulnerable. And perhaps pressure Blue's main base. Like, he didn't stonewall this up. This house right here, you can easily ram that down. But Red doesn't want to go... I don't like that. You can hit this stone, Reaction time from Blue might not be all that. He's getting university, probably for ballistics. Now, if he hurries his crossbows down here, he might still be able to break in here. And there's not much here except the mangonel to defend. Blues, of course, is putting those stables, is thinking about making some knights in defense, but those knights won't have any upgrades yet. It's just a window for red to do damage is, you know, closing. If you allow Teutons to like put up stone walls like this and boom behind those, that is dangerous because Teutons will have a better boom and economy than Vietnamese. Even if red technically has a vill lead right now. I think he's done a better job. He's done a way better job producing villagers. Blue has a significant amount of idle time. It's probably because he's had so many villagers on stone. Not enough of food. Blue's trying to get these relics. I don't think he can allow that as red. And he's actually going to deny that because he's chasing this villager. Yeah, Blue's thinking the better of it. That's another thing. When your opponent does give up all map control, that gives you free reign to just collect all the relics on the map. And red really... I mean, he doesn't know. But he should know. He sees this. He should expect that blue might be doing that on the same time. Okay, he's moving in now. At the same time, build a siege workshop here. Make a mangonel, but blue is also making a mangonel there, so that will be a battle. If red wants to do damage, he has to get in now. He has to see this. Oh boy. This might be so close. There's one tile left. He has to see this right now. Red, this is your moment. And it's too late. Damn. So close. And now he's gonna think that there's been a stone wall all this time, even though it's just been open for the past... Well, until now it's been open, and he could have walked right in, and he didn't. Because he waited too long. It's just too defensive. I'm a little frustrated at that, because he has this army and it's not doing anything for him. Yeah, and now you're outside with crossbows, and your opponent is fully stonewalled. What are you going to do now? Yeah, let him know that you're there. And blue will be, ha! Now I know that your army isn't here. I don't have to be afraid of you. Table coming up here. Did blue really try to put houses there? Well, that's not gonna work out for you. Blue is expecting extra pressure, but there's no siege here, so it's actually... This is not a threat to him at all, but I guess he just wants to be sure. A stone wall behind, even. Like, blue is such a defensive player. It's now being under pressure from the north. Like we said, this town center's kind of sketch. Forward, it's basically inviting red to pressure. Now, while blue has done a great job defending his base, he has done a poor job at producing villagers with his Teuton boom. You know, he's 9 villagers behind red, who was up to Castlade like 2 minutes later and had those town centers later also. Although red's economy is kind of messy here. Like, he put a town center on this little clump of wood, and... Ah, he's already trading. Look at that. Don't get why there's no town center on the wood line here. That I don't get from red. Like, he seems to be the better player of the two. Even if he missed those windows to attack, he's going to take down his town center, but of course not going to be able to do much more damage since blue has knights here. Probably going to try to snipe these mangonels. These knights do have +2 armor. I think I'll get one who's going to run away now. Of course, there's way better knights than the Vietnamese. Like, look at these knights. They have, you know, that extra armor. Vietnamese knights don't get that. You know, you get that extra armor in Castlades and Imperial Age. Makes your unit very tanky. That's kind of the whole thing for Teutons. Slow, tanky units. But yeah, red is already going to trade with the market. I don't know how much... If that is worth it before Imperial Age. Like, you kind of want to invest all of that into either getting up to Imperial Age, attacking. It's fortified wall now. Jesus Christ, blue. You know, if there is a map where you can actually get away with this, it would be this map because you have that market in your base there. Blue can just sit back, build a market on this side perhaps, which will give him like what, 30 gold maybe, and just defend with gold units. Still not ideal though because the only problem is that the wood's in the middle, and he will need to protect his wood lines, and it's gonna, you know. Oh my god. Blue! Blue! Blue is such a funny player. I can't believe Red is letting him get away with this. I mean, he doesn't see it. And these walls are perfect too. They just are outside of the vision. And Blue is just extending his walls further. He's like the onion player. That's hilarious. Well, if he gets it up, it will secure this gold, but Red is going out here with a lumber camp, which might help him spot these walls coming up now, and he's gonna see it. Okay, I'm sorry, Blue. That was never going to happen. I know you wanted that gold, but that was just too greedy. Nope, these walls are denied. You'll have to make military to get these walls up. Soldier goes down. Red now sees that Blue is walling all over the place. Hey, look, if your opponent gives up map control, you can just take the gold, no problem. Ooh, as Blue takes the fight, and Red has his units bunched up, trying to micro away to, you know, to get the knights. Mangonel's in now, there's too many crossbows, so Blue's gonna run away. Smart move, you don't want to lose your knights for free. Dead snipes and crossbows. And both players almost into imp. And Blue's getting infantry upgrades here, or at least building a barracks and getting squires. We're gonna see elite Teutonic knights against an archer civilization. I don't think going infantry is the play here. Okay, he's making pikemen because he saw knights. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I guess it makes sense that he thinks that that's a good option. The only problem is that it's 2 knights. And there's so many crossbows here, which will now be arbalests. So going halberd is not really an option. Red's gonna drop a castle here just to defend this stone. And I think this is the side where the pressure is going to be. Now there's this really nice hill right there from which Red could trap down this castle. Yeah, Blue doesn't have a hill that allows him to range Red's castle, so that's definitely an advantage for Red if he gets his trebuchets up on this hill. And he only has to defend this gate. Blue's making his own choke points, basically. That is in favor of the archer player. You know, you want choke points, you want the fight to be in one place, you want... There's even a hole down here, so Blue's walls are completely useless. The more closed off a map gets, the better for the archer ship. Like a map like Mongolia, you know, that terrible map. Oh, Blue. Blue. Why are we going pikemen? Why don't we have 50 paladins right now? Yeah, I don't really know what Blue's going to be doing here. You know, funny enough, Red has these sheep. Oh, Red found those sheep that Blue didn't find and has put them around the market so that he'll know that if Blue is trading with the market, those sheep will be converted. And so begins the siege. Oh, Red, put them on top of this hill, like right there. You get that extra bonus damage. Now you're actually vulnerable to these mangonels. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Red. Uh-oh. Okay, you realized it now. Uh-oh. And one trebuchet going down already. Another one going down? He just gets away. Okay, but Blue's under a lot of pressure now. There's like a lot of Arbalest streaming in. He's been making pikemen against Arbalest, which is never going to work. Desperately trying to take out these trebuchets with his mangonel. Red is doing some good repairs on his castle. Blue is not repairing his castle, so it will eventually go down. There's now 3-2 trebuchets. And And as soon as that happens, this entire forward of his part of his base will be lost. You know, he has enough stone to build 3 new castles. Oh, and blue makes the classic mistakes. He wants the traps, so he's clicking the traps. Actually does get the castle. Ooh, but he wants to snipe the bombard cannons. That might actually be worth it. But doesn't get it. He has almost full upgrades on his knights, and he has 2. And no cavalier. I don't really... It's like, he had such a great defense going on, but defending with pikemen against Arbalest Civ is just... And now he wants to drop a castle out there. That's not gonna happen, Blue. Okay, he thinks the better of it. Yeah, that would have been Doubt Castle for sure. As soon as Red spots that, he would have broken right through. He's making his own bombard cannons now. Drops a castle in the back. Guess he's preparing for the siege here. The only problem is he has no gold. Hasn't set up trade with, hasn't set up trade with the market. Red has been trading all along. I would get Caravan here. Let's see how much gold he gets. It's only 15, but with all the map control he has, he could put a market right there. Break through these walls and just trade the long distance. Why not? I mean, look how much gold he has compared to blue. 3,000 gold. He is fine. You know, can also take all these extra golds because blue is not controlling it. Blue can't really take this gold because he used it as part of his wall. This gold will be lost soon enough. And then this is his only gold left. This is what you do when you play defensive. You don't take map control. You don't get to use and exploit the resources of those maps. As Red is getting Rattan archers. Which, in this matchup, not really that important. Like, you're not gonna see a lot of archers from Teutons. It's gonna make skirmishers now. I guess that's a good move. That would have been a better move than the pikemen, to be honest. Because Red is not making any cavalry. He made a few knights, but that's it. This was what you had to worry about. Well, I guess this is exactly what blue wants. You know, just sit behind fortified walls and await the siege. To be honest, this is how I used to play the game. Like, just stone wall up, sit behind your walls, and let the AI come with small armies. Because, I mean, who can play hard AI in the beginning? You know, await the AI as Red snipes the mangonel. Sit behind your walls, put up bombard towers too. That was the best. And then kind of defend your fort. It's more role playing than actually playing the game, really. When Red might actually snipe this bombard cannon. Oh, that's expensive. Boo, you can't afford that. And these skirmishers have no armor upgrades. Like, at this point, getting armor before fletching, even, probably worth it. Because that's really what skirmishers are. You know, they're supposed to tank. And Blue's still making pikemen. Why are you making pikemen? It's such a waste of food. Have you seen a single knight in the last 5 minutes? Ooh, might got a good shot here though. Shoot, shoot, shoot! Ah, awesome. Red. And this is a crenellation castle, isn't it? It has extra range. Oh, blue is like, yeah, that worked. Let's stick with this strategy. He's gonna make onager now, which I think it's not a bad move. I mean, if Red insists on fighting right next to the siege workshop, you know, his funeral. Oh, this is funny. These bombard cannons actually can't fight the castle. The castle outranges the bombard cannons. So I'll have to use trebuchets here. Which means that blue could use his own bombard cannons to snipe the traps, and then Red can actually push past this point. Pretty smart. What's not smart is making pikemen. I mean, look at this. Pikemen aren't going to do anything. I mean, you could have used that food to get your armor upgrade for your skirmishers. He's getting it now, finally. I guess Blue's trying to do his best defend from this bush. Now gonna repair the castle. It's trying to snipe this trebuchet with skirmishers. I think no, it's gonna go down. 2 trebuchets too much. And in the end, even if you defend from all of this, blue is not pushing. Red has him completely surrounded with units. It's just gonna spam in more units. Could spam in some cavalry now too if he wants to take out the skirmisher. Could upgrade his siege, perhaps. These mangonels are actually doing a beastly job against skirmishers. Look at them going down. I don't really see a win condition for blue here. I think blue is just stalling out the inevitable, putting a castle on his wood line, a castle on this gold. He's going to try to defend his base as long as possible because, but now he's not behind walls anymore. But ooh, we might get a good shot. Oh, okay. But red saw it this time. Yeah, he's sniping it now. I don't think. Yeah, blue's not going to repair that. So it's still very dangerous fighting next to the siege workshop. Onagers could pop out at any time. Okay, where's this onager coming from? That one. Okay, he's making them over here. You want to be making them here because then you can pop them out and do a surprise shot. Finally making some knights, sniping the siege. That's actually a good play. Red hasn't posted the arbalest next to the siege, so red might lose. Yeah, he's gonna lose a trebuchet. You could lose this one. Ooh, it might actually get this one also. Oh, blue, you can snipe this one easy. It's so far out. Get it! No! Too bad. Red is running away for the onagers because that's a lot. That's the 3 onagers now. They could actually destroy this entire army. But bomber. Ooh, gets 2 bomber cannons. That's nice. That was a really good shot. That's expensive too. I mean, not for a player who has 4,000 gold, but still. Oh, look at the attempted micro here. You could repair. Oh, he was thinking about it. He was thinking about it, just wasn't in time. It's just the pikeman thing. It's kind of bothering me that we're making pikemen against arbalest. Because it's so useless. It doesn't. It really is a waste of food. Unless, of course, red does come in with battle elephant, which he's thinking about. In that case, I mean, at least then the pikemen make more sense as a buffer unit. You know, to damage the elephants. You know, they have a insane bonus versus cavalry, but especially elephants. But you know, there's been no elephant so far, so there's no point to have been making pikemen up until this point. I'd rather him see his food. Invest his food in upgrades, getting knights. What he should be doing now is setting up a trade, because he's actually out of gold. I guess some gold right here. But red has all the gold of the map. Has been taking all this extra gold. And he has trade. And yeah, it's a limited trade. I know, it's not... This is not the... Definitely, without caravan, it's going to be very, very slow to bring in that 15 gold per trip. But still, it's something. I mean, look at this. I was just going to say, look at his gold, but he just spent all his gold on elephants. I mean, they are battle elephants. They don't have a lot of upgrades yet. You do want to kind of have... You know, he's missing some attack upgrades here. I think the final armor upgrade, that's pretty important. So they can fight under castles and make them very tanky. For the rest, these elephants might... I think the biggest purpose that they might serve here is they could chase down the skirmishers a bit, but they are also better against buildings, you know. I still have to watch out for this, these halberdiers here. They're fully upgraded too. That's sniping some villagers on the wood line, that's good stuff. Ooh, and blue, he wanted to go out to this gold, and he's building a tower in a stable to deny the gold from red. It's actually smart that he didn't attack with his villagers, because now red doesn't know. And as soon as his tower goes up, red will have to abandon whatever gold is left. It's actually only 100 gold. It's so little gold. It's almost not worth it. Red not really collecting relics though. And blue did have a relic over here, but of course it got lost. Wait, did red collect relics? Okay, never mind, he did collect relics. I didn't say anything. And blue is finally expanding out here. And he's trying to do the same thing, but he's gonna find out there is no gold left because you've given up map control all game. Red has been sitting here the entire game, just peacefully taking this gold, and there's none left for you. All you can do now is spam pikemen. Isn't that weird that the player that was defensive and made only trash units actually has no gold? Actually, it's not weird at all. He made siege though, that's expensive. Ah, yes, fog. There we go. He is making a trade card somewhere. Market went down though, so where's that trade card coming from? Over here? Oh, blue. Oh, blue. That's not. Why not? If you're gonna trade, why not here? There's no pressure coming in from this side, and it is actually less cluttered this way. Like, it takes forever to trade cards to get through here. You know, I'm pretty sure that if it gets sent out here, it will get stuck in this area. If he has the gather point set. Oh no, there's a hole. Never mind. That would have been really funny though. But yeah. Blue now sees a mass of battle elephants coming in, and yes, you have halberdiers, but you see how many elephants this is? You see how many arbalests are behind? Might be the GG for blue here. Because these battle elephants are gonna shred the skirmishers. But of course you need to be careful for the onagers. Oh my god, red! Oh no! And I was just praising your strategy. There's 40 arbalests just going down to an onager there. I think red was a bit too excited there. Sending all his units super close. Now you don't have that massive arbalest behind to snipe the halberdiers. Does have red tan archers, so I guess there's that. Oh, red, you're funny. I mean, you're so far ahead that this is not throw territory. Although, look at what blue's doing. Blue's just saying, okay, screw you. I have stone. I don't have gold. I'm just gonna tower rush you with keeps. As he's losing the front of his base. And red's just spamming in units. I'm not sure if red is even paying attention to this. Might be the base trade of all base trades. Okay, now he's paying attention. He's building a castle here. That's very good. And blue doesn't have time to really pay attention to that either. Seeing as he's losing the front of his base. Halberdier is actually coming in clutch here. There's not a lot of elephants left. He's gonna snipe this onager, who has been taking out these archers all game. But now, see, now there's no meat shield in front, and the skirmishers can do damage again. I think red was a bit too impetuously with his units here. Losing so many gold units. Very expensive. Actually has no gold of his own now. This is interesting. He lost so many units there. I mean, blue is just being a cockroach holding on. Red's gonna drop a castle in its base. While he's being raided by halberdiers on all sides. Had to build a castle to stop this push, but I mean, blue's just gonna direct this pressure against his town center. It's not walled at all. The trade could be hit. But then there's still this ball of archers in his base, and there's not much that he's doing against it right now. He lost most of his archery ranges here. Or he's in the process of losing them. It's not making a lot of skirmishers anymore. Has one trade card. At this point, you gotta make more skirmishers here. This is so funny. Oh, come on, Blue. Blue! You're not Spanish. Did he get sappers? Because it would only make sense if he got sappers. That gives your villagers plus 15 attack versus building. These villagers are blocking the ram right now. This is so not worth it. I think Blue might be a bit frustrated here. If the town center aggroes the ram, we might be good here. But I think the town center is smart, taking out the villagers first. Look how many vills are going down here. Ooh, but Cap Ram coming in clutch. Well, they did it. Again, no answer to the pressure that's coming into your base. It's actually not a lot of army for Red, who lost so much. Neither player really has gold at the moment. Another shot. Oh. Now, if Blue just continued with the skirmisher onager play here, I think Red, he could have been able to push Red right back. Now there's some elephants here to stop the pressure, take out the villagers. Wow. Blue actually got this castle taken down with Capped Ram. I'm impressed by how much pressure Blue was able to put on in like the matter of 5 minutes. I think that was his plan all along, to boom behind walls. And then suddenly just strike out with Siege and Halberdier. Actually has gold. Like with all the map control that he took here, Red can't push from this side, really. So this gold is actually safe now. Now the Vil count is 95 to 83 because neither player is really rebooming. Of course, Red's Vil count is actually lower than Blue's because Red has a lot of trade cards. Red is sending in his Arbalest to deny the trade. No, the trade card. But in the meantime, Red is pretty much losing his base too. What is this base trade? I really like this lumber camp thing that Blue is going on. And look how much wood he's been chopping and how little wood Red has been chopping. They're actually chopping wood right next to each other here, but Teuton Castle will take care of that. Blue's still raiding the wood lines down here for Red. Red's not making new villagers, that's his main problem. He has 2 town centers, he's not rebooming at all. So he's actually way behind in the Vil count to Blue. And he took out the pressure. What's going on in this game? This is amazing. Now Blue has 79 army and Red has 25. And Red's gonna make archer range for skirmishers, but he's losing his base now to Capped Ram and Halberdier. And yes, he has Arbalest, but that is so many Halberdiers. He's just gonna get overwhelmed. It's like he's defending against a zombie horde. Doing a good job microing here, but it's just too many. Get surrounded here. The Rams are kind of blocking too. This town center is gonna go down. You might easily take out this other town center. Can take out the market, which is the only gold that Red has right now. Red can't make cavalry because that's playing right into the hand of the pikemen. I think making all those elephants was a mistake. I think the better play would have been to make champions. If Vietnamese get those, 2-handed swordmen at least. You know, to take out the pikemen. And they also counter skirmishers to a degree. Making those elephants would have worked if he had kept his Arbalest alive. But he lost them to the Onager. And then there was nothing to snipe his Halberdiers. Halberdiers sniped all his elephants. That was a lot of gold. That was almost 4,000 gold that he invested in that attack. And it didn't work. He's being pushed back now. Blue, you don't want to lose your Onagers though. Blue! Blue! Okay, well, Blue is happy to throw away the onagers here. Well, I guess he snipes the building villager, so there's that. And the score switches around as Blue gets into Red's trade. The only gold that he has. Red's population is 72 versus 181. How is this even possible? What a sick 1200 elo game. This is amazing. I really thought Blue was gonna lose this because he was making only trash units. There were so many arbalests into his base, but he just held on. He fortified his base. He kept spamming. Did this great counterattack, which really caught Red off guard. I think Red was definitely not prepared for this. Forced him to shift some of his focus to this side too. Which probably explains why he lost so many arbalests to onagers, you know, wasn't paying attention to them. He's now losing all his trade. No more gold for Red. That was the one thing he had going for him right now. Yes, he's doing some good micro, killing all these halberdiers. Like, in theory, halberdiers like this shouldn't be accounted to arbalests. But you don't have the time to micro this way. Lost all his villages on the wood line. He has 35 villages left. He is now teching into two-handed swordsman. About 30 minutes too late. Imagine if instead of going with elephants, he had made two-handed swordsman. Just imagine. It would have been much better for him. And the Teuton player. Well, I mean, the Teuton player is on the clock here because actually, if you look about it, he doesn't have a lot of farms. He's now finally adding more farms. He had 3 working right now, so he actually doesn't have the food to rebuild all these halberdiers. But of course, he has the siege. You know, trebuchets take down the castles. Of course, also has 88 military on the field right now, unlike Red, who has 17. And nothing on food. Going to try to make a market. Does he still want to trade with this? Yeah, Blue has units stationed out here, so that's not going to happen. Okay, he's now. It's a little counterattack from the bottom. Like Red has plenty of wood, could spam barracks all day. The only problem is has no gold. So this is it. It's two-handed swordsman who lack the final armor upgrade here. I'm not sure if Vietnamese do get champion, actually. Red's final castle in the north is going to go down. That means that his relics will be lost, too. Like, he's spending all his gold now on two-handed swordsman, but that's going to run out at some point. Has no food anymore, actually. He doesn't have enough food to make a villager. Like, Red is right now, it's just... I think Red is so pissed. He's telling himself, how did I lose this? How am I losing this game? I've been winning all game. I've been pushing Blue. I was in his base with 50 arbalests, 20 rattan archers, with siege, with elephants. How did I not win this? Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a solid answer here. This game has been surprising. I really think two-handed swordsman would have been the play. Like, look how well they're doing now. Like, Blue is spamming pikemen. Or halberdiers. They don't do anything against two-handed swordsmen. And two-handed swordsmen do decent against skirmishers, because they still have some pierce armor. That's really all I can say. Red should have won this game. I think Red had the opportunities to win this game. He could have gotten into Blue's base with the crossbows. You know, he could have way earlier than he never did. Like right here, he could have walked right through if he had just been focused and not wait too long. In both occasions, really. Could have done a lot of damage, delay Blue. Even more. Blue wasn't very good at booming either. Like, remember, he didn't queue up a lot of villagers in the beginning. He was behind in the vill count. Red had such a lead. I don't know where to look now. It's kind of like here, Red is taking out red's base is being taken out, but here blue's base is being taken out. But there's so much map control for blue now. There's no gold on the map. Red has no food economy. It's actually housed because blue has been taking out all his houses. Which is an underrated strategy, by the way, housing your opponent. And this is it, by the way. This army, this is it. This is all the army that red can make, and it's not gonna help him push castles, because I'm pretty sure. No, actually, he can't push castles because it's Teutons, and we all know what low elo legend upgrade Teutons get for free: murder holes. Yeah, so these 2 assortments are not gonna. They're not gonna push the castle. Oh yeah, red just lost his relics, so no more gold. I guess he can sell wood, but. Do you really want to continue playing right now? I think at this point it's time to GG. Like, I get the frustration, wants to kind of revenge on this base, but it's over. The blue has won, as these villagers are going to go down to pikeman raid. Blue has gotten his food economy back to, you know, back to normal. Has 33 on farms right now. Could just make some skirmishers too. Spam halberdiers all day. Perhaps sell some of the wood to make some crossbows. Anything. And also remember, these halberdiers are extra tanky. They have 5 melee armor, which will make them better against two-handed swordsmen than normal pikemen. Halberdier. Pointy boys. Yeah, and red's population is 44. At this point, we're just waiting for the GG here. That's why I'm talking about the game more than what's going on, because it's just... As blue's going to secure these relics. That's really smart. Getting that extra gold trickle. Oh, he's made a Teutonic Knight. Where is it? There it is, guarding the wood line. You know, actually making Teutonic Knights in this situation makes total sense. They would shred the 200 swordsmen. I'd love to see Teutonic Knights. It's not gonna happen, they're too slow, but still. Red's base in the north is pretty much cleared up now. Red's base in the south is alive. These are most of his villagers. I don't know where the rest is. Got some out here. Let's see. Okay, there you go. GG! What a game! Holy. Honestly, I thought Red was gonna win this. Red should have won this. Like, with his push, how far into Blue's base he got, how little expansion Blue had at that time. But Blue, just with the swift counterattack with towers and barracks and siege workshop, just like pushing right into Red's base. Red didn't stonewall this up or anything, you know, because he felt really secure about it. And there was just little that he could do to protect against this, and lost everything. And Blue was super stubborn. Just keep producing those pikemen, halberdiers, against Arbalest. But I think what won in the game here is these onagers. Because he got so many juicy onager shots with these. And probably going on the left here, shifting the attention, shifting the front, forced Red to pay attention to this side too, which meant that he had to look away from the right, which made it more possible for Blue to get these onager shots in. That might actually be what won him the game. Splitting Red's attention so that he wasn't paying attention to his fragile arbalests anymore, allowing Blue to snipe them, or, well, massacre them. Red not going two-handed swordsman. That was his biggest mistake. I think that the two mistakes he made was just not pressuring with his crossbows. If you're gonna invest in crossbows and delay your castle time, you gotta do something with them. And he wasn't able to do anything with them because Blue managed to get stone walls up, and it's not because he scrambled them up. He took his time. Like, there was a hole here for a long time, and Red was just sitting out there. That was the first mistake. The second mistake was going elephants. Elephants are OP, but if your opponent's already making halberdier, they're Teuton halberdiers, you're kind of playing, you're justifying what blue is doing. Because I was laughing at it before, because blue is making halberdiers against a massive arbalest. That makes no sense. But now there were elephants, and it does make sense. So, but yeah, I mean, that doesn't take away how wacky this game is. I'd love to see the statistics here. I just look at this. Red was ahead so far throughout this game. Like, the army control that he had in Imperial Age, just blue kept losing his army. And then right here, blue just, I don't know what it was. It's not like he suddenly had enough resources. He had little gold at that point. He just turned open the floodgates, and he just started destroying. And red, and then here red tried to get back with 200 swordsmen, but it was too late. Blue was making so many units at that point, just flooding the map as if he was Gauss. What an awesome game. Yeah, this speaks for itself. The KD, way better for red, but red not being able to capitalize on that KD. Blue just kind of outspamming him. Like, he made much more military than red did in the end. Get it more wood and food. I guess if you're gonna go halberdier, that's what you want to do. Significantly more food than red, actually. Because red's food economy, he never reboomed, so red did have way more gold. Like, look at the difference here. 12,000 more gold. And he wasn't able to finish off the game. Like, and not even, and only half, a little bit over half of that came from trade and relics. Like, most of that was just him expanding across the map, taking the gold that blue was letting him have. It's just too bad that Vietnamese weren't able to, really push the Teuton players. And let's all be fair, Teutons, this is what they do best. Defending, and defending with siege and infantry, and kind of holding on. You can get away with that as Teutons. But in any case, this was a great game. I enjoyed this a lot.